So the question is, imagine I have this simulation running here and I have a sensor, which is the blade span sensor, and have all these fields. If you're only interested in, say, the thrust and the torque force distribution here, so when you export this sensor, when you export by clicking here, you will get a file that contains all the fields, so the data for all the fields. So what we're going to do now is show a way in which we can reduce this to only exporting this. And this you do by using this sensor preferences thing here. So I'm going to export the default sensor preferences. So I already have a file name like this, but that's fine. I can press yes. And now I'm going to open this file, which I have here, sensor preferences defaults. Okay, and what you see here, so if I make this column a bit longer, here you have the names of all the sensors that are available in Ashes, okay? So now we're looking at blade span, and this one is blade span here. So we're going to work on this line. Now, each of these cells here corresponds to one of the fields. So the first one here, blade span, that's for angle of attack. The drag coefficient is this one, and so on. Okay. Each one of these cells has three sections that are separated with by this sign here. So the first one is just kind of telling you which field you're considering. So this one is the first one. So this one is the sixth one. Okay, so that's the first number here. The second number here should be either 1 or 0. So when it's 1, that means that you're going to see the field. So it's going to appear here. If you set it to 0, then you're going to remove the field. And the third one here, we're not going to use in this particular example, but this is the prefix that you're going to use for the unit. So for example, if you look at this cell here, so that's for the fatigue sensor, I know by heart that this is the unit is megapascals, and that's because there's an M here. But if you wanted, say, in kilopascals, then you would put a K instead. Okay. For this particular example, we don't really need that. So we're just gonna be modifying this. But basically, the point is that if I replace my 1 with a 0 here, and then I do the same thing here, okay, and I keep doing this, then these fields are not going to appear when I open the blade sensor, the blade span sensor. So I can save my file here, and if I go to Ashes, so these are the three first fields. These are the ones that I've removed. So if I know, well, I have to close the sensor so that it can be updated. But if I now import here, import sensor preferences, and import the file that I just saved, and now I can come here and add the blade span sensor. And now you see that I don't have the angle of attack and the lift and drag coefficients anymore because this is set to 0. So okay, so if you just want these two fields, then you have to kind of see which cell they correspond to and leave those to 1 and remove everything else. The problem that we have currently in version Ashes 3.20 that we will hopefully solve soon is that you will have to import this file every time you open Ashes. Okay, so now you can see that I don't have the angle of attack, CL and CD, but if I close Ashes and if I open it again, then they will be back. They will come back. So if I come here and say blade span, you can see that they're back. And if I don't want them, I have to come here and import my file again. So yeah, so we're gonna change this sooner rather than later, but that's how it has to be done for now. Cool. I hope this was helpful. As always, any other question, just let us know. Zerand.